Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling. My name is BrendenPlayz. This is our TNA playthrough of the year 2007. Our last episode of the series was the Against All Odds pay-per-view, where we saw a 96 rated show, our best ever show. Personally, I didn't really believe it was our best show we've ever done, but in terms of ratings, in terms of show ratings and match qualities, well, yeah, we got our best ever match of the series. Muhammad Hassan, who beat Fallen Angel Christopher Daniels in a Falls Count Anywhere match to retain the TNA World title. 99 rated match between the two. 96 overall rated show, mainly because of how good that opening match was. That main event match was, sorry. The opening match was Jeff Hardy beating Samoa Joe in a 2 out of 3 falls match. To be honest, I thought that was going to be the match of the night. They had a terrific match not long ago, and that was great. I thought that was going to be the one. I thought that was going to be our best match, but it turned out to be our main event, which I thought was going to be great. I thought maybe 90, but to get 99 was absolutely unbelievable. AJ Styles beat Jeff Jarrett as well as one of the other main attractions. Of course, Chris Jericho also made his debut, and we got plenty to talk about with Chris Jericho here today. Overall 0.55 pay-per-view buy rate, 276,000 buys, which is excellent. Absolutely excellent. 20,000 attendance, so TNA really is going well. Good attendances for our pay-per-views, good buy rates, making plenty of money. We're ticking along nicely. You can see for pay-per-view buy rates, 1.3 million in terms of pay-per-view revenue. By far our best ever buy rate. Obviously one of the next best, I guess, was Bound for Glory, 940,000 buys. So put that into context, 400,000 more dollars was made off that recent pay-per-view. And that extra 400 grand is going to help us big time, because you can see with our profits, looking back at March 2006, we made 146,000, 160,000, 190. Then we started to really amp it up a little bit. 300, 320, 320, 340. So we were in that 300 bracket. Recently, we're Bound for Glory's month, October, 450, then 480, then about 650 for December. January was not as good. Less than 400. Not sure what happened there, but then of course this month, which I think will be one of our, I think this will be our most profitable month of the year. Well, of the series, I guess you could say. So that's obviously because we are now bigger. We're getting more ticket sales because we're able to get more people into the arenas. We're able to draw more. We're able to get bigger buy rates. We're getting more money from our TV. Everything's going well, and overall we only have about 6.7 million. Which isn't not a lot at all, because you think about it, WWE, they probably have over 50 million, maybe 75 million, and for us, we've only got 7 million, which is okay. But if we wanted to expand further, not really giving us a lot to really play with. So it's important that we keep our money going and our profits going. So it's great to see with our progression, we've been able to make more money, and more money means we can sign more talent. We can expand our production, and we can do a lot, which is fantastic. And speaking of production, let's have a look. We're still well ahead of what we need to be doing. We're, following the standards of our networks, which is important, because if you don't follow the standards of your networks, you're going to see a lot of penalties, and they're not going to be happy with you at all. And also, if you have better production, the more likely a network will want to work with you as well. So that's also a very, very important thing. Now, today, obviously, we're moving away from a pay-per-view, which was Against All Odds, and we're now getting ready for our next one, which is Destination X, and then we have Lockdown. So, what we're going to be doing with Destination X, of course, will be the X Division champion getting a world title opportunity. That's how it kind of works. But what we might do, I guess, something we could do is really make the X Division champion work for it. Maybe a title defense every week until Destination X. That would make it interesting, and also give us a big match every single week on the card. So Alex Shelley, currently our X Division champion, we make him defend the championship every single week. He'll certainly get his title offenses up, and he'll have to certainly earn that championship opportunity. And I guess we can take a look at what happened at last year's Destination X, if we can. So let's take a look at the show history. I'll have to go back all the way to 2006, right to the beginning. So Destination X was Christian versus Samoa Joe, and Christian beat Samoa Joe. So kind of puts that into context. Samoa Joe was the X Division champion at the time. So it was a great matchup there, and also you can see 5,500 attendance, 0.23 buy rate. So clearly we've doubled that and then some since then. And I guess if you want to compare it against All Odds while we're there, 8,000 in attendance, 0.25 buy rate. So compare that to what we just did as well, 85 rated show. But yeah, so Samoa Joe had a championship match last year. He didn't win it. I don't think the X Division champion probably will ever beat the world champion. I don't know. To me, obviously right now it's Muhammad Hassan who's just killing it. Now the problem is Alex Shelley is a heel. Muhammad Hassan is a heel. And you might be thinking, well, why don't you just do a heel versus heel match? That's going to really bring the quality of the match down. And what we just saw recently with Fallen Angel had match of the year with Muhammad Hassan. So you think, okay, let's have Muhammad Hassan, Fallen Angel, and Alex Shelley in a triple threat. I think that's where the money is. I think that's magic waiting to happen. It could be billed as, well, Fallen Angel's absolute last ever chance at the World Championship, whilst Muhammad Hassan has it. And to obviously get there, you would need Fallen Angel to start getting some wins. So he needs to beat a few guys in the next weeks of Impact. But we'll take a look at what we're going to be doing over the next couple of months. So we have started some new storylines, and I think these new storylines will be interesting, I hope. And it should probably get us through until lockdown. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to do Goldberg and Abyss for lockdown. Now, the question is, do we have Team Goldberg versus Team Abyss? Probably the Insane Asylum. Maybe. In a lethal lockdown match. We could probably do 2 lethal lockdown matches if we like. I think that might work well. A brawl style match will help Goldberg and Abyss. So maybe we go with that. Now Goldberg would need to assemble a team. And Abyss, well, there's only 3 members of the Insane Asylum. So if we're going to do a 4-on-4 match, which I think is the traditional amount of people in a lethal lockdown, we would need to add 1 extra guy to Abyss's team. So maybe we do Abyss and Goldberg 1-on-1 at the next pay-per-view, and then maybe we do at Destination X, and then maybe we do Team Goldberg versus Team Abyss at Lethal Lockdown. But, this should be a big match. A lot of you guys have said, hey, why aren't you using Goldberg? I definitely agree that we should be doing more of Goldberg. But the thing is, with me, I want Goldberg to be more of a special attraction. Appear at the big 4, I guess we only have really big 3 pay-per-views. Appear at our big shows, and not every single week. You just have to show up. If he misses a pay-per-view, that's okay. He's not going to wrestle on Impact. He's just going to wrestle on the pay-per-views. Keep him special. That's what we're trying to do with Goldberg. And Abyss and Goldberg, that's a good match. That's a big match. And I think if anyone's going to get a good match out of Goldberg, it probably will be Abyss. We're going to probably wrap up the Homicide and Shannon Moore feud. We might have these two have a matchup. Quite possible we might pair Shannon Moore and Paul London together to form a tag team. And we might even form Homicide and Chavo Guerrero as a tag team as well. Maybe LAX a little bit different, and then maybe eventually we bring in Hernandez and Conan to really form a strong, solid LAX. But obviously the plan is to turn Homicide babyface soon. AJ Styles, Jeff Jarrett. Now AJ beat Jarrett, and we probably could move away from this feud soon. But I think maybe one more match between the two at the next pay-per-view would be fine at Destination X. Samoa Joe versus Rhino, 1-on-1. This is a feud, I think, just to give both guys something to do, and also to give Samoa Joe a win. I think he'll win this feud, but also probably produce some good matches, so it might help Rhino maintain his popularity despite losing. Again, to give some more teams something to do. Dutch Dynasty, so Kenta and Marufuji. We haven't done enough with them lately. I've kind of neglected them a little bit. They've just been out of contention. So, and same with Insane Asylum. We formed this big team. They did the feud with Sting and the New Age Outlaws. Since then, we haven't had anything for them to do. So, again, just 2 teams to kind of take each other on, and we'll see how that goes. Jericho and Christian, we're going to have them form up and team up to take on America's Most Wanted. So we're going to go with that tag team idea of having these 2 guys team up for a while. Goes pretty well for the time being. Maybe even win the tag team titles for a little bit. I think that might be good. And then it all starts to kind of fall apart around, maybe after lockdown, things are starting to kind of get a little shaky, and eventually, the split does and the turn does happen. Matt Morgan versus R-Truth for the Global Championship. R-Truth's been going pretty well. Matt Morgan's the champ right now. Truth seems to be the right contender. We're going to keep doing Melina and Beth Phoenix. Obviously, Melina having a little bit of an injury, so we weren't able to get the most out of her match. So we'll do that one again. Added Alex Shelley to the Hassan feud. You can see, look at the heat on that match. 99. That's why it's doing so well. And in a women's rivalry as well, Molly Holly and Sarah Del Rey. Molly Holly, really, we haven't done anything with her at all. It's been probably a bit of a travesty. And Sarah Del Rey has struggled a little bit to get some wins. So let's give these two women something to do. We need to really elevate our women badly. So it's time to, get that going. So that's our rivalries. We may add a few more until, at the moment, but that's all we have. So that's where we're standing right now. And we're getting ready to start off week 3 of February. We do have a full month to get ready for Destination X. And as I said, probably have the X Division Championship on the line for a while. And I guess I was just thinking, if we want to have Jericho and Christian win the tag team titles, we probably need to add the Dudleys to that mix. And I don't think we have the Dudleys, Team 3D, our tag team champions, doing anything. So we might just add the Dudleys there, Team 3D, to this rivalry, because I think it might work quite well if we gave Christian and Jericho a short little run with the tag team titles to give the championship some big prestige and credibility. And then I guess the Dudleys could win it back at some other point or some other time, and things kind of go wrong. So maybe that's the match we look at doing. And also, if we do a triple threat tag team match, it also gives us another excuse to be able to do America's Most Wanted and the Dudleys, which I think is our 2 best teams. So, we could probably squeeze that in and try and make that happen. And I think that would be really high quality tag team matches as well. So if we can get that done, and if that's successful, then great. So that's the plan at the moment. So Christian is set to turn, so he will turn at some point. And with that talk show promo that he had with Jericho, it really did help out his popularity back to the 90s. And Jericho got a bit of a boost as well. So quite clear that these two working together will produce high quality results. And that's what we want. And when the turn does happen, and these two do go one-on-one at Slammiversary, I think it will be maybe our best match we've ever had. And that's hard to, kind of say, considering we just had a 99 rated, but fingers crossed. A couple other little things. Bret Hart, his contract expired, we're trying to get him. Same with Michael Shane, we're trying to keep those guys. But that's really all about it. I think, I don't know if I showed you guys who won the Royal Rumble for the WWE in their recent pay-per-view. I'll just kind of have to take a quick look at the WWE's recent results. So Chris Benoit won the Royal Rumble in 2007. So he won the. I don't think I showed you this. Chris Benoit, yeah, he won the Royal Rumble in 2007, which is crazy to think. But yeah, he won the Rumble. Big Show is still the world champion. He beat Eddie Guerrero. Goldust, he's the US champion. He beat the Boogeyman. Viscera, he's the IC champion, beating Jamal, which I think, isn't that Umaga, I think? Yes, so he beat Umaga, who's not technically Umaga yet. So yeah, okay. And Masters and Carlito, the tag team champions. Gregory Helms beat Daivari. Ashley beat Candice for the women's. So yeah, Benoit winning the Rumble. That's pretty crazy. And at the No Way Out pay-per-view 86, so we are definitely beating WWE in terms of pay-per-views. We are certainly, sometimes their weekly shows are better than ours, but for the most part, as you can see, we are doing a lot better than Raw lately. So we are putting on high-quality matches. No Way Out, the main event was Kane and Big Show beating Batista and Ray, so not even a title match. The Bashams, they are now tag champs. They beat Carlito and Masters. And any other new champions doesn't look to be the case. So, yeah, it's interesting. They're not really having that great of quality. I mean, Eddie Guerrero beat John Cena. That's a good match. But other than that, nothing really special. So Benoit, he will get a title match at WrestleMania if it works properly. I don't know if the computer will accurately do that. I don't know, but I'd like to think yes. I would like to think yes. But yeah, so it's interesting from WWE, and we'll take a look at their size, and they still are growing. They went from 83 up to 84. One region they've kind of gone down in the tri-state, so they are still growing. They are still being successful. Canada, they've done really well. Mexico, they've done terrific. Wow, 38 to 77. That's huge growth. British Isles has done really well as well, 50 to 73. Japan, 27 to 59. This is what I was wishing we would have been able to do. Australia, great growth. We haven't been able to do that. It's really frustrating because obviously we don't have a TV deal, but WWE have been able to do it, so I'm a little bit jealous there. But yeah, so whilst they are growing, they haven't had the better shows. We are putting on the better product right now, which is fantastic. So let's get into our next show, where we will start our new rivalries, our new storylines, obviously. And let's check a little locker room incident. Bully Ray got in a fight with Fallen Angel. Alright, okay. That's not what we want to see, Bully. Or Brother Ray. I guess he was Bully Ray in this situation. So, a lot of people are unhappy, a lot of people are happy, who knows. And, well, there you go. So, Alyssa helping out instead. Okay, so let's get into this week's show, and hopefully, fingers crossed, we do have a good show to back up our really good Against All Odds pay-per-view. Because of that, I maybe want to think about putting on a show in Southeast. We want to try and have a really good follow-up. So let's have a championship on the line as well. So we'll see how it goes, and we'll come back with the results. Okay, so we are ready for our results. And our opening match, we wanted to see how MVP's doing. I wanted to check his progress in his development. And he had a match against Sylvester Terkay. 64 rated match. MVP, 64 rated performance. That's pretty good. That's not too bad. Certainly not, obviously not brilliant, but with his popularity that he has, I think is nearly main roster ready. I think he's nearly ready for a call-up. I think maybe in the next few months, we may see MVP on our roster. Now, if we do get MVP on our roster, I can tell you right now, he will be getting a nice push. So we'll have to certainly keep evaluating him. But yeah, not a bad match at all against a local talent, Sylvester Terkay. Opening segment was James Storm, Chris Harris coming out to confront Christian and Chris Jericho. Obviously, Jericho and Christian announcing, hey, we are now a new team on the block. But James Storm, Chris Harris, they've been the best team, well, at least in their own mind, they've been one of the best teams for the last year. They've been dominant, they've been beating everyone, they've had the tag team titles, they've been terrific. So they believe they are the team to beat, and if Jericho and Christian want to prove themselves as a team here in TNA, they've got to get through James Storm and Chris Harris. So starting off that rivalry right there with a bit of a bang, 100 rated, which is excellent. Jericho's getting better at his gimmick, which is always an even better sign. Rikishi and A-Train had a match. Rikishi getting tired after just a 12-minute match, which is annoying. But A-Train 90 rated carried the match to an 82. Now, we got Rikishi on the roster because he's got high popularity. We're going to have him just pretty much lose every single match to everyone, put over our guys for a few months and then leave. And A-Train, I figured, hey, he could use a win. He hasn't had one for a little bit. Let's give him a win against a decent name of Rikishi. R-Truth challenged Matt Morgan to a matchup. 85 rated there. Beth Phoenix and Molly Holly one-on-one. Pretty good match. Beth Phoenix 65, Molly Holly 67. And Molly got the victory. We had Melina come in for the distraction and cost Beth Phoenix the victory. And we put Sarah Del Rey on commentary, just observing and just taking a bit of a look at Molly Holly. Roddy Piper and Alex Shelley promo. Roddy Piper forced Alex Shelley to defend his championship every single week. 98 rated segments, so that's a superb segment. And we also included Christian in that segment as well. So Roddy Piper telling Alex Shelley, if you defend your championship every single week and you can get through that, you'll get a title shot against Muhammad Hassan. I think, did I say Christian? I meant Muhammad Hassan. I keep thinking Christian is a world champion at times. Rhino beat Austin Aries, and that was just a way to get Rhino a nice win. 80 rated from Rhino. We made it a brawl match, so every time Rhino has a brawl match, it's really good. We might just need to keep having him have brawls. Afterwards, Samoa Joe, who's been pissed off after losing to Jeff Hardy after that big series of matches. He didn't get the big win, so he's not happy, and he decided to take out his frustrations out on Rhino, beating him down, which that obviously will start that rivalry. Tess and Kevin Thorne had a promo. They cut a promo on their upcoming match against Marufuji and Kenta, starting off that rivalry. Jeff Jarrett had a match against Chris Hero. Now, I did this because I wanted to see how Chris Hero's going as a singles. And how's he going? I don't know, 83. 83 from Chris Hero. That's pretty damn good. We put AJ Styles in commentary as well to continue the Jarrett and Styles storyline. And Jeff Jarrett, 89. So we also gave Jeff a win because he just lost to AJ. I figured that Jeff could use a win. So really good match. And probably the right opponent for Chris Hero to try and test himself against. And he certainly delivered. And our main event, 89 rated. So we had Alex Shelley defend his X Division Championship against Frankie Kazarian. Shelley's gimmick's getting a little bit stale. We need to fix that. Shelley 88, Kazarian 78. So it's been a while since we kind of used Kazarian in a high-profile situation. And that's also the beauty of this. We put it as the main event because we wanted to give this championship match, a lot of importance. And some guys that haven't had opportunities will get one. I'm sure we'll give Paul London another chance. I'd like to give Homicide one as well if we can get that face turn done in time. Maybe even AJ Styles or Fallen Angel. We'll see. Overall, 91 rated Impact show. And we didn't even have Muhammad Hassan on the show or Fallen Angels. So to get 91 and you don't even use your champion or the number one contender, it's pretty damn good. We didn't have Abyss or Goldberg on either. So we're doing really well. We are doing really well. We've got a lot of depth in our roster now. We've got a lot of guys who can carry the show. And to have the X Division as our main event and have an 89 rated match, a terrific match, just goes to show that we're succeeding in a lot of different areas. Our tag team division's pretty good now. X Division's going well. We didn't even need to have our world title storyline really develop on this show. So excellent. Really happy about that. Really happy about that. Great show. Great way to follow it up. We wanted to have a big show and a big title match to close it out. I think was cool. So I like this idea of championship match every single week. Shelley, if he wants to get that world title shot, he's going to have to damn earn it. And I'm sure he will. Overall, it was a 7.62 rating. So our ratings are going up every single week. I don't know if that's a great rating or not really yet. I think that's probably our best one we've ever had. And it's probably going to be the case every single week as we continue to grow. But that's really good. Very, very happy about that. So let's go take a quick look at MVP and if he gained any popularity. MVP 39-41. We probably could bring up a few new guys. Obviously, the next guy to come up will be Nakamura. I know a lot of you guys have been asking about Nakamura. When's he coming? When's he coming? He's so good. Yes, we've got to get him up soon. I think maybe we debut him pretty soon. I don't know. Like I said, we've just got a lot of space. Maybe, look, you could even bring in a Nakamura. I mean, I guess he's a light heavyweight, might be a little bit too big for the X Division. I was thinking maybe you could bring Nakamura in for an X Division title match, something different, but maybe not. But I'm sure we're going to find a spot for him soon. There's a few guys we probably need to cut or think about getting rid of soon and replacing them with our new talent coming through. So, yeah, I mean, all is going pretty well. And look at Alex Shelley. And he's going pretty well, 73. So not too long ago was he, low 60s. So that goes to show you have a successful storyline, a successful run as X Division champion can really, really help you out. Just have a quick look at a couple other guys. Christian, well and truly back in the 90s now. Chris Harris and James Storm, they're obviously having a big match up there. How's their popularity? About 72, which is pretty good. Kazarian had a great match, so that helped him out. He's in 61-62. Kazarian, not as good as some of our top tier X Divisions, but he is certainly very good. We just need to, appreciate him a little bit more. He's not championship worthy yet, but he's certainly someone who's very, very useful to us at this stage. But yeah, so that's kind of where we're at the moment with our Impact shows. We probably got enough time to get Explosion done as well, so we'll quickly run through Explosion, where we've got a couple matches that we didn't quite get sorted out on our recent Impact, and some Prodigy stuff there to look at. But again, I might test out Nakamura again, so we might bring up Nakamura and give him a match and developmental. And I guess for Nakamura, who do you have him to take on? I mean, is there a heel right now that we could probably sacrifice to give Nakamura a victory? Because we need Nakamura to get some popularity building. And I guess maybe Alex Skipper might be the one, which I think someone might have suggested to me to put Alex Skipper and Monty Brown together as a team. That might be not a bad idea as a nice little team. Let me know if that's an idea. You think that might work. Obviously give both guys something to do. And more teams the better. You might be thinking, well, do we need another team? Yeah, more teams the better. Absolutely. So I don't really think we've got anyone that I kind of want to sacrifice at this point to Nakamura. We'll have a quick look if there's anyone as a local. And if you change your region, you can obviously get different locals to look at. So we could go and take a look at the Southwest and see if there's any locals. And what you want really is someone who's got decent popularity to lose, and they can give that. I mean, the only guy is the Iron Sheik. We can use Van Hammer. He's got 50, so he might work. Yeah, I think he would work. So we'll give Van Hammer a match, chance for him just to do something. Give him a matchup, and we'll have Nakamura beat him. So someone who's got 50 popularity, obviously Nakamura having 43. You can do that, and you can have Nakamura get a nice and easy victory, and let him dominate, but probably bury Van Hammer. We're never going to use Van Hammer, so we'll probably bury him to get the most. Yeah, I don't care if you're unhappy. We'll bury him to get the most we possibly can out of this. So we'll go ahead and book the rest of the show. We'll show you the results in a moment's time, but hopefully this will help Nakamura get that little bit extra popularity and get him ready to be a full-time main roster guy. Okay, so the results for our explosion. Truth and Matt Morgan opened things up, going back and forth on the mic, just developing that storyline a little bit further. The Nakamura match, Shinsuke 74. So we looked at MVP, who I think was, 64 or something like that. Nakamura 74. So it goes to show Nakamura well and truly ahead of MVP and probably everybody else in developmental. He is excellent. And Van Hammer, he sucks, 26. But then again, he got buried, so why would he have a good performance? We had Sonjay Dutt and Jay Lethal. They got beat by America's Most Wanted. We gave that, so obviously America's Most Wanted is getting ready for Christian and Jericho. We need them to be strong, get some victories under their belts. So a victory for them. Melina promo and Beth Phoenix, not as good as usual, 68. You think she probably gets around the 70 or 80, but not as good. Homicide had a promo on Shannon Moore, and we are going to end this Homicide and Shannon Moore feud. Hasn't been really a long one or a special one, just something for both guys to do. And it was an 80 rated match. Homicide 88, Shannon Moore 64. That's why Homicide won. So Homicide wins, and as we said, gets a big win. What to next? I mean, does he take on Shelley next after Destination X? I would probably think so. Yeah, I think that's probably where we're going next. Not enough attractive women on the show. Well, we just had Melina, I guess. Probably needed one or two more. But that's okay. If we needed a couple more women, that's fine. At the end of the day, it's an explosion. Doesn't affect our popularity, anything like that. But you do want to obviously have as many good shows as you possibly can. But we'll have a look at Nakamura in a moment's time, see if it helped. Harry Smith, he wants to be brought up in the main roster. Here's something. Victoria. Now, we know Victoria, Tara, her contract's ending. She's on maternity leave at the moment. 4 months she'll be gone for. I tell you what though, she would be very handy for our women's roster. Last year averaged 67. She was the champion for a while as well, so she's got only 54 popularity. You'd think maybe she'd have a little bit more. 54. We won't be able to get her for 4 months though. That's the downside. We won't have her for quite some time. Good mic skills, good in-ring performer, no doubt. I'm sure she would have some great matches with Melina and Beth Phoenix and others. I'm going to give her a contract offer now. She's 35, which is probably the downside. WWE giving her a 4-year deal. We're going to have to match that. We're going to have to give her a 4-year deal, but we'll give her a lot more money as well. So we won't get her for 4 months, but if we sign her for 4 years, it won't really matter that 4 months we can't use it for. But I really believe she would be excellent for our roster, excellent for our women's roster, especially, she obviously was in TNA for a long time, so, obviously a realistic thing. Popularity-wise is pretty good, especially because our women's popularity is really bad. We really need to sign someone like her, and she might really help our women's division. Fergal Devitt, actually, or Prince Devitt, he quit his job, quit one of his promotions he's working for. And 0.52 rating for Explosion. Quick look at Nakamura before we get heading out of here. And he definitely bumped up an extra point after getting a pretty comfortable victory over Van Hammer. So, and looking at Nakamura, averaging 62, and for most of that time he's been in developmental, which is pretty impressive that he's been able to, average that and be in developmental, which is, like I said, pretty impressive. So, I think he's doing a really good job, and we've got to get him into the main roster very, very soon. He must be our next call-up, and probably MVP not too far away for after that. So we need Nakamura. We need to get him up here, but the thing is, who do you get rid of in place of him, and how do we get him to a point where he's a good popularity? Do we sacrifice a few guys we're not really that keen on anymore? Probably. So something to think about, but I think, where are we now getting ready for Destination X? I think Nakamura needs to be up on the roster before lockdown. I think if we can get him up there before then and start pushing him strong, that'll give us a great chance to really utilize him well for the big period of the year, that Slammiversary period. And maybe if we can get him that good, he could be a part of Bound for Glory series. That's obviously wishful thinking. That's a lot of work to do. But if we could do it, it would be amazing. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you again for joining us for this episode of Total Extreme Wrestling for our TNA playthrough. Any suggestions, let me know in the comment section down below. Any ideas you got, any storyline ideas, tag team ideas, match ideas, let me know. Who should take on Shelley next for our X Division Championship? That's something we can also think about. Here's a list of candidates that you could probably go with. AJ Styles, probably a bit busy at the moment, maybe not. Someone who can lose to Shelley, preferably. So who out of these guys do you think should take him on next? I think probably Paul London. But let me know in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like on it. Let's try and hit 100 likes. That would be fantastic. More likes, more videos. That way I know that you're enjoying the content. Also, remember to check out our other TEW series, our stream series of us playing WWE 2009. Check that one out. If you can't get enough TW, there is plenty to get there. You've got hours to watch there already, so make sure you do check that out. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching, and I hope to see you all in the next video.